Well, I picked up the new water heater at Home Depot. You gotta love quality here. Big old dent in it. I just threw this thing together. These things don't screw down. It's a water heater, yeah. Had to dig out the old anode. This old magnesium one. I'll be putting in an aluminum one. So before I can do this, what I've got to do is I'm going to paint all this, just this little area here, and then I'll put a pan down in there, and I'll go ahead and install her and hook her up. Not going to run any water through it just yet. I've got a bunch of open ends and stuff, but anyway, so I got to TSP these walls. I got rid of all the cobwebs. Got me a new little toy here so I can get all the cobwebs, which are everywhere. Anyway, that's it for now. So I got this new Rheem water heater, and I went ahead and bought an aluminum anode. The one that came with it is it's a lot lighter. Magnesium is lighter than aluminum. But if you want to be sure, take a little bit of that, file some off. You know what a flare does, a road flare? Well, this should sparkle. It's magnesium. Sparkle? It's a magnesium rod. Can't find it in the directions or anything. So just a heads up, if you've got a new Rheem water heater, chances are it's a magnesium rod. And if you've got any hydrogen sulfide in your water, you're going to want to change that before you install it. See you. Well, the paint dried overnight. I was able to get the water heater in. 50-gallon water heater. I'm just kind of disgusted in the build quality in anything these days that these people make. I mean, it's got dents in it, you know. It's just poorly made here anymore. Look at this. Water heater's in though. We'll move on to the next little project. Okay, so we're down in the basement here. I'm going to replace this pressure switch with a new pressure switch. You can see this is kind of corroded, and I like to know things are right, and that thing's pretty cheap. This is what they call a 4060 switch. They make several types. So what does 4060 mean? Well, you can see this gauge right here. When the pressure drops to 40 psi, the contacts close and it sends a signal to the well pump to kick it up to 60. And this is your pressure tank right here. It holds that pressure. So when you turn on a faucet or anything and it gets down to 40, boom, it turns the pump on. The pump pressurizes it and gives it enough water to get to 60, and then it shuts off. So you never have under 40. Now this is the pressure tank here. And generally speaking, since this is a 4060, there's a little air valve up here. And this tank wants to be about 2 ps, anywhere from 2 to 5 psi below 40. I've got to get my air gauge and check that. But it should ring. Hear it ring? Generally, that means it's good, because when it doesn't ring and it's solid, the bladder inside has failed and it's full of water. So anyway, I'm going to put this switch in and we'll come back and show you what it looks like new. Okay, well, there you go. She's been installed. This is the old one here. If you see by my thumb, you see that the white looks like a white disc, and there's one over there. That's not supposed to be white. That's corrosion on these contacts. It's not burnt, or it would be black. Normally you take a piece of sandpaper and emery board and you can clean that up, but you can see the condition of this. It's probably been in here and since the house was built, and for 40 bucks, I don't ever have to worry about it ever again, because I put the new one in. So wiring these things is pretty simple. Pump's 220. Well, this is a little different, but all you got to do is remember on these, your black wires, one black wire from one source, which is the pump, goes to one side here, and the black wire from the other side, which is your power, goes to the other side. And technically, these would be two reds, but in this instance, I'm using, this is like a 10 gauge wire. I've replaced the wire that was in here, this stranded wire, and this is going to be okay. But anyway, it's 220, so it doesn't, you could actually mix them up. Well, you couldn't mix them up. You need one from one and one from the other. So you need one wire on one side and the other wire on the other side. But anyway, so yeah, we're all good to go now. As long as I'm in here in the basement, I've been checking all this stuff out. What's happened here is a lot of these, there's a rod that holds this, these rods right here. They go in there and they get wedged in and they hold your insulation up. Okay, well, a lot of them, if you look on the ground, they're all over the place. They've fallen out. Now, I don't know if it's because they're too short or what. But a lot of this insulation you see hanging is still good. The stuff on the ground, I'm not going to even monkey with. The rods. I can get 100 of these from Home Depot for a mere $52, or I can wait 4 or 5 days. Well, it's Christmas, who knows. I can get 200 of them for $25. So I'm going with the 200. I'm going to start over there in the corner, and I'm going to try to pick up all this stuff. If I've got to put them every 5 inches, so be it. They're cheap. And then we'll figure out how much insulation we're going to need, because there's a lot of bays in here where it's all falling down and on the ground and it's collected moisture. So my plan for this is to rake this. It's dusty in here, oh my God, is to rake this all out. I'm going to rake it all out. Oh man, this dust. And then see if I can level it a little bit some. I don't know. It could be a dead animal or a body in here. Who knows? But I'm going to level it out, and I'm going to put some Visqueen in here. And then I'm going to run it up and staple it up along here, up along the bottom of the floor joist, all the way around. So this will be all plastic. That'll cut down on any moisture coming up. And then all that carpet that's upstairs, I'm going to bring that carpet down here, and I'm going to lay it down, and we'll have a place to store stuff. It'll be dry. It'll still be cold. But the problem I've got to solve now is over there. The rain gutters come right in there. That needs a piece of lumber. I haven't even gotten to that. I got so many other things going on. An old washer. All this stuff has got to go out. We're going to need some gravel. And again, we've got to get this rainwater from the gutters from going down here, because that's always a big puddle. But this will be a good storage once we get this up. I mean, I can hunch over, but you can almost stand up. Well, you'll be able to. I'm not too sure we even need that water softener stuff. Time's going to tell. See what the water's like after putting the aluminum anode in. I believe that was probably the problem, but you never know. So anyway, that's it for the basement for now. I got other stuff going on upstairs. Okay, so we also put in another coat of mud, started that corner, sanded some. We got one more coat. Yeah, maybe a week level 3. I'm gonna texture this anyway. So then the tub. So I've been working on this tub every day. I got 2 coats of primer underneath this. Then I got the first coat of paint. The legs for the clawfoot, those are a beast. Those did a lot of handwork there, but we got all those sanded and the old paint off. That's a rubbed oil, bronze oil or something. I don't know. But anyway, we got 2 coats of primer on that, and it's a spray can, it's a rattle can for that. So I'm going to put another coat on that. This has got to dry up. The parts for the tub, as soon as they get here, because the tub's got to go in. I can't, if I put the toilet in, I'm not going to be able to get the tub in. So once the parts for the tub get in, I can put the tub in place. I can put the sink in, but like I said, I've still got a little bit to do here. I want to texture this, paint it, then the floor, then the sink, then we'll put the tub in there. Technically, it doesn't really have to be hooked up as long as I can drag it in there and get it into place, because I've got enough room now that I can do all the plumbing work back here. I can hook up the toilet, but again, we've got to, I got all the flooring. So that's about what we got done today. Tomorrow's another day.